What's going on, everybody? It's Faustin with you once again, and once again, we're here for another episode of Borderless Gaming GSA. This is episode 56, and with me, as usual, is Evil. Say what's up to the people, Evil.
Yo, everybody. Hope everybody's well. Hope you've had a fantastic week and looking forward to the show as always.
Most definitely. And Geek will be here in a bit. He's running a little bit late from his real world job, so he'll be with us sooner or later. I feel like I already know what's going on, Nadi. Welcome to the stream. But what have you been into this week?
This week has been a lot of Farming Simulator again. There's a few years back on that. A nice and relaxing game just to chill out with, no stress. And a little bit of racing.
We definitely did some testing, or you did some testing in VR while we are racing this week. How do you feel like that went?
I enjoyed it. What I didn't enjoy was Bathurst when I clipped the curb and barrel rolled 6 times. That's not enjoyable.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, when I came off last night, I think we'd been racing about 4 hours. And I think I was down just under 50% battery level on the headset.
Okay, so one of the big things that you and I had been talking about was whether or not the headset would be able to last through like a Formula One race for league racing. So no problem there then.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be any problem. I'm already looking at other headsets. I'm looking at the Valve Index, possibly jump into the bigger toy. Yeah, they're a lot of money to be honest. So
Yeah, that's big time. But from what I understand, those things are definitely worth the money. But man, they are quite a bit of money. Like that's
yeah, from what I've seen, like you can buy the headset independent without any of the other things, like no handsets or nothing.
mhm.
So you can buy it on its own for about $450. But then I don't know, like you're going to need the handsets probably to set up and stuff. So
Well, you'll definitely need the base stations to track it because it's outside in tracking.
yeah,
So those two cameras or what have you that go up in front of it. From what I understand, you can use actually like an Xbox controller to control it if you wanted to go that route. But
yeah,
playing something like, say, like a proper uh, VR game would be difficult that way, or less immersive, I guess I was the better word. But
yeah,
I imagine mainly you would want to use it for stuff like racing or just sim stuff, right?
yeah. It's mostly going to be the sim stuff. I mean, I'll see. I mean, there's lots of other headsets coming on the market. I mean, Meta's apparently got another one coming, slightly upgrade for the Quest 2.
Right.
You got the new HP Reverb that just launched as well. So there's lots out there. I think I'm just going to wait and see how the rest of the year goes. See if anything else slips onto the market that's maybe just a little bit unexpected because we're talking about potential eye tracking in future headsets, so we might have one of those coming very soon.
Yeah,
And Meta's going to want to jump on that.
I would be surprised if they didn't come out with that. They seem to be really on the ball as far as all the new trends when it comes to VR and everything. So
Yeah.
definitely looking forward to that myself. But um, yeah, so let's get into things. First off, today in JLoss gaming history, today, only 8 years ago, Sniper Elite 3 released on the PS4. And I guess that's relevant because Sniper Elite 5 just released, and that's one of the games I've been enjoying lately. So
They're good
Yeah,
games. I can confirm I was definitely born for Sniper Elite 3.
yeah, yeah. Finally, finally, we get one within your lifetime. That's
No, I
funny.
do. I like the Sniper Elite franchise, but I'd have to say I'm not sure if you. I think you're going to agree. Sniper Elite feels like an arcadey sniper slightly, whereas I always went to Ghost Warrior.
Yes, yes. If you compare the two, definitely Ghost Warrior feels more realistic. And I don't think it helps that Sniper Elite is set in World War II. What's going on, Angry? Glad you can make it to the
Well,
show, bro. Are you out there swearing right now? I'm sure you are. But yeah, 8 years, Sniper Elite 3, and since now 4 and 5 have been out, and a very strong running series, and I definitely hope to see it continue on. Um, in the news, one that you found for us is Bungie Unmasked Fraudulent DMCA spammer. You want to tell us about that?
yeah, I think it was common knowledge. I think it was about a couple of months ago. There was a lot of takedowns happening on Bungie orientated content on YouTube. Um, I think even Bungie actually got a takedown as well.
Right, right. Hey, Andrea, thanks for watching, or welcome to the
Eh,
show. I'm glad you're here.
but yeah, like everybody was getting content taken down for
Mhm.
copyright strikes and everything. And even Bungie came out and they were like, it's not us. We're not doing it. They've done it to us as well. Um, and for what I can read, they've been through a court case and everything. Um, I'm not sure if they've done it through they tracked this person through IP or what, but they found out it was actually one of their own. It was one of the community, ex Destiny player.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not sure. I mean, we don't know why this person's done it. Did did they feel aggrieved by the game? Um, went on a warpath to try and ruin it for others.
So I was actually able to look into that, and what happened was so I guess Destiny had been or what did you call it? We talked about it the other day.
Oh, when they vaulted stuff.
Vault, yes, they
Yes.
vaulted a bunch of music, and so some some of their community got permission to release that music as long as they weren't monetizing it. And
Yeah.
so he released the music, but he was monetizing it, and so he kept getting warned. And then finally, they gave him a strike, and he did this as retaliation. What's going on, Plank? Glad you can make it to the show. Yeah, it's a crazy story for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming. I mean, they've obviously named who it is. I'm not going to sit and name it. The
Mhm.
articles are out there for people to read if they want to go and read it. Um, but I mean, was it worth it? Because now Bungie is filing a $7.2 million lawsuit against him. So
That's just insane.
they are going to go to court and sue this person for it. So after all that, was it worth it? Just because he got a takedown on his channel?
And my question is, will they be the only ones? Because a lot of YouTubers had those videos removed completely wiped. And since I guess Bungie vaulted this music, they can never get that back. So they lost not revenue, but the project that they were doing, right? They were trying to conserve this music and keep it out there for people to listen to, and now it's gone just because this guy got mad because he broke the rules. All you had to do was n- not monetize it, right? But
Yeah.
he stepped across the line and got caught, and then decided to retaliate, and now a lot of things that a lot of people really enjoy is gone because of it. So I wonder if you'll see lawsuits coming in from other YouTubers against him. And I guess he was really active in his community. And while this whole thing was going on, he was talking about it in the forums like it wasn't him.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'd imagine that there will be other people putting a case against them because I mean, at the end of the day, if you're on YouTube, Twitch, things like that, there is people out there that it's a job to them. You know, they put
Right.
time and effort into the content they make. We know, like, just making you'll go and watch a video on YouTube that's like, say, 30 minutes long, but we know that it doesn't take 30 minutes to make that video. It could be 4 hours worth of content, 2 hours worth of editing, and a couple of hours uploading it onto the site. That's a long time. People see this as a job, and if you start messing around with that, you know that's yeah, that's not going to end well.
Right. Playing says music and the game are under two different copyrights, so Bungie might not even have control of the music, which is why they vaulted it. They have a strong case against them for damages. Yeah, from what I've been reading about it, yeah, he's about to be hemmed up for sure.
Yeah, it's just silly. I mean, you know, if you weren't supposed to monetize it, don't monetize it. There's no need to ruin everybody else's fun for that.
Right.
It's and then yeah, I mean, getting into court for that kind of money. I mean, I hope he's got deep pockets.
Yeah, this dude is about to lose everything for the rest of his life, I'm betting. Because from what I understand, after all this came out, he's lost his channel, um, and nobody is willing to really associate with him anymore. So
Yeah, because then
all
I'd
this,
imagine obviously when YouTube found out what he was doing, then they're not going to let somebody run riot on the platform like that.
mhm. So let this be a lesson to you guys. Don't let your anger speak for you. Angry. You guys don't know, Angry and I made a bet for who's gonna win in our race league, and he lost the bet, so he's not allowed to swear for a month, and that's like saying he's not allowed to breathe for a month. It's hilarious. Good evening, Keisha. Glad you could make it. Happy Sunday to you as well.
Good evening.
What's up next? I think this is another one from you, actually, since we got to skip geeks right now. Xbox is Microsoft is bringing Game Pass. Maybe this is Planks to smart TVs. Have you heard
I
about
think,
that?
yeah, I think that was both me and Plank.
You and Plank?
I'd posted it. There was a story about the I think the way that pretty much was it 20 years ahead the plans, and obviously these TVs were a part of that.
Right,
We knew they were coming. We knew that they were going to be integrated into TVs. By all means, it's not the first time we've seen something like this put inside a smart TV. I mean, the Steam links in some of them. I believe you can actually access Sony's one on the Sony TVs, obviously.
right.
Um, but yeah, Game Pass is obviously it's a bigger catalogue. It's more robust.
What's going on, Shadow? Glad you can make it tonight. Yeah, so the big thing I guess with it is now you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to buy an Xbox. You're probably in the market every so often to upgrade your television, right? And so that being the case, now you buy a Samsung, and I'm sure this is going to be expanded any day now, to be honest with you. But now you buy one of these 2022 Samsung televisions and beyond, and you automatically have the streaming service on your television. And so you no longer need the Xbox console. You can just play all your Xbox games through the cloud on your television. Um, and so I guess at most you would just need to buy an Xbox controller, and I imagine you'd be hard pressed to find too many people that don't already own one of those for something in their life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to say, I think the Xbox controller is what I would say is, in my opinion, it's the universal controller for, you know, you can actually Bluetooth them into your mobile phones, your tablets, TVs, everything. You can connect them to everything. I'm not sure how robust the PlayStation 4 and 5 controllers are for that. But Xbox has obviously made a good name for their controllers. I mean, they're completely forward and backward compatible with all generations. So,
Right.
yeah, the majority of people has one kicking around in their house somewhere. Whether it's even PlayStation players, you might actually find one if they play a PC. It is just
Mhm.
seems to, and it seems to be the most supported controller out there as well.
Right. You can definitely do it with the PS5 controller, but for so long, right? The PlayStation ecosystem has been such a closed ecosystem that a lot of people just don't know that. Yeah, you can actually use the DualSense with your PC and your phone and everything now. But unfortunately, the actions of Sony in the past, they really have kind of shot themselves in the foot because now people just don't expect it. People expect them to be to remain closed off. All right, Shadow, take your time, bro. And
Yeah,
so
and
they're
this
still
kind of
going
links
Xbox.
in. This kind of links in another story I picked up. I don't think I managed to get it posted in time. But the cloud's getting keyboard and mouse support as well.
I think I
So
heard something about that. Plank. He's a keyboard and mouse guy all day long. So
yeah, so I think you know there'll probably be some kind of support if you can plug in a keyboard and mouse into that smart TV, it should work.
I mean, I would imagine like it's gonna have at least some kind of Bluetooth capability, whether you have to plug a dongle in or not. Um, I'm not sure, but um,
Who was it that released? I think it was Razer. Razer released a specific keyboard and mouse for the Xbox. It was like a lap system, like it had a little tray on the side of it for your mouse.
mm,
It was fully wireless. I'm sure it was a dongle, or maybe it just connected up normal. So, but I mean, everybody's going to have a keyboard and mouse kicking around as well, probably.
and I mean, I guess that kind of really leads into the story of PlayStation Plus has rolled out and how it's being received. Do you have you heard about it at all, and do you have any thoughts on it?
No, I've seen nothing about this. There's not much getting said about this. It just there's probably a lot getting said, but it's not as far up the news as what you'd think it would be.
Right. So what it is, the way it reads to me, right, and it makes sense, is it's a great service if you've never experienced Game Pass, right? So, and also you can't really have played too much before the current or the last half of the last generation, because if you have, then if you played a lot, you own a lot of these games already, and unfortunately, PlayStation is starting to repeat games like their free games, like God of War. The 2018 version of God of War has already been free on the PlayStation, and now like this month it's a free game of the month for standard PlayStation Plus subscribers, but it was already in their big bundle thing, so they should already have it. And then it's also on the free on the second tier. The why can't I remember the name of it? It's right here, extra tier. So if you've experienced Game Pass, right, then you've experienced getting day and date brand new games for the price of your subscription. And that looking at it from that angle makes Sony's whole thing look just weak, right? Because Sony can't deny these great games. They produce great exclusives,
Yeah.
but if you're not getting them day and date, if you're still having to pay $70+ for them, then it doesn't look as good as Game Pass does, right? But I was talking to a buddy of mine who's strictly PlayStation, who is interested in it, and to him, he was pointing out how he's kind of new, like since the PlayStation 4, through the PlayStation 4 and now the PlayStation 5 eras. So there are all these games that he's never experienced before, and for him, extra for sure, and maybe premium a little bit, but extra for sure is a great value because there are all these games he gets to experience now that he'd missed because he just got into gaming, and and then the premium is great for those people that want to go back to like the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 eras, which is cool. Only like, and I guess if you're in the younger generation, that's cool because the graphics kind of look like Minecraft to me, right? And so there's a younger. I'm sure your daughter is probably into like Minecraft or what's the
Yeah.
other one? Uh, Plink's son plays it a lot.
Yeah. Roblox.
Roblox. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, but for somebody like me who was gaming through that era, um, I don't want to go back there. You know, like I always dreamed of graphics being somewhere around where they are now, and so I have no interest in going back there. That's why Minecraft could be the best game on the planet, and obviously it's a great game. I mean, crazy numbers of people play it on a daily basis, but it just remind to me it's just this huge step backwards, and not the step that I personally want to take, um, but if you miss those games and you don't mind those graphics, then premium might be the thing for you. But from what I'm understanding right now, most people are really touting the extra tier and being able to play those PlayStation 4 games that they missed and a little bit of the PlayStation 3 games that they may have missed. So that's why I say if you've experienced Game Pass, then I can see where PlayStation Plus on the new tiers look really weak, and that's unfortunate. But if you're coming from just a strictly PlayStation point of view, I can see where it'd be a really strong offering. And so, um, from that point of view, I think from what I've seen and the list of games and everything, if it were me and I hadn't already experienced over half of the games, and that's the problem with that it has for me is I've already experienced more than half of the games that are on that list or what have you, and the games that I haven't experienced, not really. I didn't experience them because I didn't want to then, and so that hasn't changed. So it looks really good if you're strictly PlayStation, and if I were to recommend anything from what I've read, now I haven't experienced it myself because I have no need to. Let me be very clear about that. But if I hadn't experienced it myself, if I were to go for something, it would be that the extra tier to experience those not quite new but newer games that PlayStation has on offer. So yeah, uh,
I think the
what
problem
was it?
is Game Pass is it's hard to beat. It's it's hard to
Absolutely
compete with, but it's been there for a while. Microsoft has now put out what you would say what people expect from similar services. There's an expectation there for people.
right.
Like if I went out and bought, like if I went out and got a PlayStation 5, then yeah, like I don't own much on the PlayStation ecosystem at all. So
Mhm.
some of these tiers may actually be appealing to me because there's going to be games on it that I've not actually played.
Right.
Um, but yeah, like if you've been on the PlayStation for a long time, and most of these games are games that you probably played, because as you say, yeah, there's some really good games on the PlayStation, and day one though, I mean, I think I still think they need to change it.
Yeah, and they say that they can't really afford to, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why they believe, and this is they've said that they believe it would hurt the quality of their games. I don't understand how offering these games as a part of their service to their extremely loyal customers, as we will see in the next story. PlayStation fans are extremely loyal, so I don't understand why they would think giving them these new games as a part of this service and then doing like what Xbox does, charging for DLC and stuff. I don't see where that would hurt them financially when it's not really hurting Microsoft financially. Like I could understand it if, and I guess people were going to say that Microsoft has way more money to play with, and that's definitely true. But I think the PlayStation fans are loyal enough that they would really make it succeed. So it's that to me is kind of confusing. But speaking of loyal fans, uh this is just ridiculous. This is so stupid. PlayStation fans want to cancel Kojima's Xbox exclusive game, right?
Yeah, it's petty. It's really petty. But when you actually look into this, the petition that's getting spoken about was actually made 12 months ago. When the rumours first started circling about Kojima possibly coming to the Xbox.
Right.
So bear in mind, this petition has been on the internet for over 12 months, and we've had the announcement now, and the petition still hasn't reached its 2,500 signature target. It is only sitting on 1,892 at this point,
That's just insane.
which proves that that's what we talk about a lot of the time. That's that minority, the very
Right.
small minority that just they don't look at the bigger picture. Kojima looking elsewhere. It's going to put more money into the company. It's going to better any games on all platforms in the future. So, it is what it is. I mean, they're not going to
Absolutely.
stop it. They're not going to stop it.
So here's my thing, right? If you're watching this and you've signed this petition, I want you to take a moment to think about a couple of things, right? You want Kojima to pull out of a multi-million, possibly billion-dollar contract with Microsoft. Just pull out of it. Just drop it. You don't think Microsoft, a multi-trillion-dollar company, would sue him for that? I mean, you guys are supposed to like this guy, right? And I do. Don't get me wrong. I love Kojima. I love his games. He's never produced a game that I didn't like. Um, Playing says PS boys are always so salty. Yeah, I don't get it. But if you like him and you want him to succeed, all he wants to do, all he's ever wanted to do was create, right? Create entertaining games. Now he wants to do movies, books, and everything. Um, he's not taking anything from you, right? He's not snatching anything out of the mouths of the PlayStation players. He's not hurting you. And again, I play PlayStation. I own a PS5. Um, so I'm not against you. I just don't understand why you all are so dead set on Sony being this closed ecosystem and stifling their ability and anybody who surrounds them ability to make money, right? You guys don't want their games going to PC, even if they're 4-year-old games. You're mad that they go to PC. Why? This is only going to bring Sony money, and this is going to allow them to do more for you. You don't want Kojima making a game for Xbox. Why? This is going to bring him more money. This is allowing him to be creative in the way he wants to be creative. And he has said he's not going to make games for PlayStation. He's just got a side project going on. What does it hurt you for other people to play games on other platforms? I don't understand how that damages in any way what's fun for you. Doesn't make sense to me.
The more platforms a game can sell on, it's better for the developer.
Absolutely.
It helps fund a sequel, helps fund DLC, a lot of things. It's the more money that's coming in, the better. So yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, if I was to sway to one console, everybody knows me that I'm Xbox, and I still remember there was a huge kick up when. Now, bear in mind, Forza Horizon, you could play on the PC Game Pass,
Hmm.
but when they announced that it was going to Steam, there was a minority of Xbox players didn't like it. I don't understand it because again, it's just it opens it up. There is people out there, and I'm one of them. There are some launchers on the PC that you don't want
Right.
because how many launchers is there on PC? I mean, you've got one for Ubisoft, you've got one for Origin, you've got Steam, you've got Epic, you've got the Xbox One. It's just clutter. People don't like that. So
Mm.
if they expand the horizon, put games like this on just a different launcher, it opens it up to some people that maybe just, you know what, I don't want to, I didn't want to have the Xbox One, so I just want to run through Steam. So
Right.
I don't get the mentality of what the issue is putting anything on a different platform. It's, I could probably see if they're a bit annoyed, like it never ever happened, but you know, if Sony turned around and went, no, we're putting Gran Turismo on Xbox. Yeah, I can understand why they might be a bit annoyed. But when we're talking about a developer that can make games wherever they want, let them do it. Because the
Here's a
reward for
crazy
it is going to be better.
here's a crazy thing though, right? And we are about to experience this. Yeah, you're never gonna see Gran Turismo go to the Xbox, but let's say they put it on the PC, right? All of a sudden, and they make it crossplay. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, how many more racers are on that game? You know, we're as sim racers, we're always starving for more racers to be in our games, right? And we've got F1 2022 coming out here in a couple of days, and later on in the year, that's going to be crossplay with everybody, and we're very excited about that. We're excited to be able to race with PC players, with PlayStation players and Xbox players all together, uh, doing their thing, which is racing.
Yeah.
How wonderful would that be? And remember, this is Sony making money, right? Wherever they sell it, Sony is making money, right? And
Yeah.
the PlayStation fans used to tout how Game Pass was bad for the the developers and the publishers, and it doesn't show love for them. But now you guys want to cancel Kojima, his game, this developer, because he's putting a game on a different platform. Then you like, and we already established all you have to do is buy a new television. You don't even have to get the. I mean, you don't even have to do that. All you have to do is get Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
And you can play it pretty much anywhere. And so I don't
Everybody's got a
understand it.
everybody's got a phone, so
Yeah.
you're going to be able to play it on your phone through the cloud or so yeah, nobody's saying that you need to go out and buy like a $450 console.
Hmm.
Nobody's saying that because you don't. You don't need to do that. There's so many ways that the PlayStation players will be able to experience this without having to walk into buying another console. It's the bigger picture
Absolutely.
that they don't look at.
So PlayStation fans, just remember, if you guys really do love this guy like you say you do, love his games and everything, stop stop trying to take food off his plate. You know, he just wants to do his thing. He just wants to express his passion, and wherever. And right now, you know, you have to admit that Microsoft has the platform for, and this is a cloud game. This is meant to be a cloud game, right? And that's their service is so good that Sony is using it, right? Right now, Sony's new PlayStation Plus is successful partly due to the fact that they're using Microsoft's Azure cloud gaming or service, right? I mean, correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong. Suddenly, where people just weeks ago were saying how streaming um for PlayStation is so horrible, now they're saying it's working great.
yeah,
Well, they partnered up with Microsoft to get what Microsoft does well to work for them so that they can give you guys games that work well. Don't be mad about it, and don't hate them for trying to make money so that they can continue to do what it is that you love about them, whether it be Kojima or Sony or anybody for that matter. I mean, it's gaming. Let's all game. You know, wherever you want to game, but let's all game. Let's stop trying to hurt your friends. Seriously.
that's it. It shouldn't matter the platform. I mean, how long had we been wanting crossplay in games? And the last few years, it's been like major selling points for some games.
Right.
Whereas I think right now we're probably at the crossover point with crossplay. It doesn't really get mentioned that much on a game launch now because it's standard. It's
Right.
just a standard thing that you expect, and the developer's going to give you. Like there's no longer, oh, I wish I could play this with somebody on the PlayStation or on the PC. The majority of games releasing right now have that ability, so it's not
Mhm.
big news anymore. So we can all play with each other on all consoles, all platforms. So let's start to learn to get on with each other.
Honestly, come Come on, let's be borderless. Seriously, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's petty, but the bad thing is you will have the minority, and it's not just PlayStation. There is the same minority exists on the Xbox fan base as well.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely.
It's everywhere you go. If you go and speak to a die-hard Nintendo console, they're probably going to tell you that Xbox and PlayStation's both crap,
Right,
and would probably just laugh back at them and get on with their day. But
for sure.
it, it's what exists. It is what it is. So just learn
Look
to
who stumbled
get on
in.
with each other.
What's going
Can
on,
you hear
Pete?
me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yep.
Good evening, fellas.
Good evening.
So this is the story that you were talking about, Evil. Xbox is building the gaming platform for the next 20 years.
Wait. I don't want to jump. I wanted to add something to what you guys were talking about.
Oh, okay.
The one concept that I don't think PlayStation fans are thinking about is that whatever this project is that he does with Microsoft, he's rebuilding. And so this money that he makes allows him to expand whatever studio that he creates.
Right.
And then all of that extra manpower is available to make the next game on PlayStation or crossplay on both platforms.
Right.
So how does his making money hurt PlayStation fanboys? Sony ponies. How does it hurt them?
It shouldn't. Outside of feelings, it honestly shouldn't. And like I didn't even think about it from that angle. Like, remember, he just had this big breakup with
Konami.
Konami. And so you're right, he is in a rebuilding phase. And so this will go a long way in helping him out with that. And this just allows him to do what it is he loves to do. Sony bronies.
It's not like he's taking Metal Gear Solid back. It's not like he's shutting down Death Stranding. He's just expanding his brand.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And in the future, when all of those PlayStation games are going to PC, how much easier of a port is whatever game he makes on Xbox? Because remember, if he makes a game for the Series X and S, it has to be able to be played on PC or in the cloud, which I heard you say that all they had to do was buy Game Pass. You don't even have to buy a new system. And you can already play on your phone, on your tablet, if you have a PC on PC. So I actually feel like hating on him, trying to put a petition together to ban him, it hurts gaming.
Absolutely.
If they could Thanos snap and get rid of the Xbox, again, it hurts them. Because without competition, Sony could say the next game costs $200. Because where else can you play a game?
And we're already seeing that happen. Remember, Sony is the only one of the big three that boosted their prices up to $70 this generation so far. Right. And
So
I
far, but
I
we
fully
know that
expect it.
one fool makes many. So if they see the price, they get away with that pricing, then Xbox is going to say, well, we can charge $70 too
Absolutely.
because
I
we made a game crossplay.
I fully expect that that's going to be at some point the industry norm. But for the first time that I can remember, Sony made that jump without everybody else. Normally, it's kind of they're all kind of lockstep. What's going on, For? Glad you could make it to the show this evening. So yeah, don't you're shooting yourselves in the foot trying to get him. Not that this petition would ever succeed, right? But like I
Right.
said, let's say it did, and he decided to pull his game from this multi-trillion dollar, corporation. You don't think they're going to sue him for everything he's worth? You don't think it's just going to hurt him in the long run? And
Even if there was no consequence, even if all the signatures made Microsoft release him from his contract, the lack of competition would hurt us, not help.
right. So
It's not that you could knock a developer doing that. I mean, if you put a petition out there like that and they've got a project that they really want to do, and then somebody has the ability to stop that, they could just turn and say, "Oh, you know what? I'm packing this in."
yeah,
It shows the bad side of gaming that maybe they don't want to see, and it could seriously be enough for somebody just to think, I've had enough of this. It's time to call it a day. And
right.
that's the last thing we want, because you know, especially Kojima, that there's too many good games linked to way too many. So
Way too many.
Favorite game of all time, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure the last thing that they want to see is somebody backed into a corner where they don't want to do it anymore, and then they never see the possibility of any of those games again.
But now my ultimate thought is, after the way he was treated at Konami, for them to hate on him, especially like you said, Falchion, if you like this guy, if you like his games, so much so that you're butthurt that he's producing on another platform, wouldn't you want him to succeed? When Konami gave him the ultimate FU?
You would think. Keisha says hi, geek.
Hey, Keisha.
And she didn't type this, but she was like, "How dare you be late?"
you just could feel it that's what she was thinking.
Yeah, I can see it in her profile picture there, in the eyes. But yeah, if you want Konami to succeed, let him do his thing. Let him do what he does, because in the end, it's all coming back to PlayStation. That's where he's most comfortable, and it's not even like this is the first time that he's put a game on Xbox, right? So
Yeah.
it's nothing new, and it's nothing out of the ordinary, and it's nothing that's going to hurt PlayStation fans or PlayStation as a brand or himself as a brand. But what you guys can end up doing, like Geek said, is making him feel some kind of way, making him feel under or unappreciated for what he's doing with his craft. And absolutely do not want that. I don't want that for sure. And I'm sure no one wants to see him just stop. Right? So let Konami do Konami things. And believe me, in the end, it's more likely than not that it's going to be this great thing that everybody loves, and we'll all play it, man. Spend $1 for 3 months of Game Pass and check it out. See how you like it. All you need to do is have a phone, tablet, something potato refrigerator with a touchscreen or something.
It's getting that bad that you're probably going to find the Xbox Game Pass on devices that have a screen. Anything that has a screen is going to have compatibility with this at one point.
And that's not a bad thing to me. I mean,
and you can already play it on the Steam Deck.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I had to get off camera for a minute, guys, so Keisha didn't see my tears.
I understand.
You know, I'm a karate man. I keep my tears on the inside.
She started typing something about your tears, but then she decided that she didn't want them to flow more, so she stopped. So thank you for that, Keisha. That was really cool of you. In other news, this is the one that you were talking about, Evil, where Xbox is building the gaming platform for the next 20 years. Thinking that far ahead already.
Yeah. Obviously, Xbox just got past their 20-year anniversary. So last year, end of last year, I think it was.
Right.
Or this year, I can't remember. But yeah, so they basically laid out some sort of plan that moves forward for the next 20 years. And this isn't everything that's coming. This is just a small portion. Like, this is probably a couple of years, I think.
Right.
But the vision that they've got is obviously 20 more years. And when we get past these 20 years, it'll be 40, and then we'll probably talk about the next 40 years. So, but yeah, the biggest points that was brought up in this by Phil Spencer was, obviously, we spoke about bringing the Xbox up to the Samsung TVs.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be upgrading the gaming experience in Microsoft Edge and Windows 11. The Game Pass is going to be getting updates. Xbox Cloud Gaming is rolling out in a lot more countries, and they're updating the design lab where you can design your own controller. The biggest thing out of this that I've seen was Project Moorcroft, where the demos, so we're going to be able to play demos, but then the biggest thing to me in this wasn't actually the demos. That's a good feature. But the biggest thing to me is they're saying that you're going to be able to, on the cloud, play games that you already own that are not a part of the Xbox Game Pass. So if you own a game that's not on the pass, you can play this on the cloud. This is the big future plan. That's what they want you to be able to do. Like, that sounds brilliant to me, because right now you're kind of locked into the pass. That's what you can play. And like me, you've probably got a lot of games that's not on it that would be awesome to play that on the go via cloud gaming.
Right.
So that's going to open up so many doors.
Imagine if you have the Series S, right? No disc, but you own a bunch of discs from the past. Now you're going to be able to play those games on your Series S, as well as your phone, your tablet, your Steam Deck, your refrigerator. Probably not your refrigerator until later, but I'm a firm believer that that's going to happen.
That'll come after the washing machine.
Right. Some of the countries that they're going to be rolling it out in, where did I see that? The beta is opening up to players in Argentina, New Zealand. You're going to see the cloud on Apple and Android phones and tablets, Windows PCs, of course the Series X and S on the Xbox One, smart TVs. Players like in other countries can play Fortnite absolutely free. You don't even have to have Game Pass for that now.
And you can play it on Apple devices, which I believe you can't do that anymore. So
right. So if you want to get back to playing Fortnite on your Apple device, you can do that now, just through Microsoft. But I'm curious, and Geek, this probably be more up your alley, and yours and Evil's alleys. than it is mine for sure, is their new gaming experiences on Microsoft Edge and Windows 11. Now not all of us, I'm sure, but people do, but a lot of people, most people don't use Microsoft Edge. I don't use Microsoft Edge, right? So, from what I'm understanding and from what I'm reading, is it's going to be gaming is going to be better optimized on Microsoft Edge. So, does this mean that is going to be the place to play games from here on out? Like, should I start using Microsoft Edge at least for gaming?
They're adding new features into it that you can't, like, so if you run it for the PC app, you're going to get HDR compatibility. I'm not sure about the variable refresh rate, but that's the two biggest things they're putting on Microsoft Edge, because those two things weren't there before.
Right.
The variable refresh rate is the biggest one. People's been asking for that for a long time.
But also they're working on the acceleration engine of Edge to run games better than they did in Explorer. Because they have officially set the date that they're putting Explorer to bed.
So that wasn't a joke. Plank put something about that in the topics, and I thought it was a joke because there's a gravestone and everything. I thought it was a joke that he was shooting towards me, and so I didn't.
No. They have officially stated that Internet Explorer has an end of life date.
Wow. Okay, my bad.
Hey, Shadowfire.
Plank says in Korea, they made a gravestone for Internet Explorer. Okay. Wow, I thought you were trolling me. So my bad. That's crazy. He says it did a good job downloading another. That's true. That's true. It was really good for downloading Chrome for me all the time.
It's true. The very first thing I done, like even a couple months ago when I got my new PC, is I opened up even Edge. Edge is like the takeover for that though, because I opened up Edge, downloaded Chrome, and got on with the rest of my tasks.
Right.
I don't know.
That's about the only thing I do in Internet Explorer is I load Chrome, I load Firefox, and then I shut Chrome down. I shut Edge down, and I don't allow it to be the default browser for anything.
Shadow said it should have been gone. Held on too long for you, did it, Shadow? But
from what I've heard for some people that use Edge, it's a huge step up from what Internet Explorer ever was. But I think the problem is that Internet Explorer was so bad for so long that people found their favourite browser, and you're not going to change people's mind.
That's true. That's true. It's very difficult. That's a very difficult thing to do, especially after so many years. But that being said, if it becomes a place for playing games, I can't see it as being like my main browser ever. But if it becomes a place for playing games, especially my Xbox games through Game Pass or whatever, I'd be happy to use it for that. So,
if you're on a PC, as long as you're running Windows 10 as a minimum, you're going to be able to access the cloud gaming app anyway.
Right.
But then there's other devices that you can get Edge on, that you won't get the app on. So it'll be handy for the people that do use it. There is obviously people out there that use it. So
But yeah, they're building up the platform for the next 20 years. You keep hearing people say they're not going to be supporting the console anymore, and I don't think that's true. There's always going to be an Xbox console, I believe. But
Yeah.
at this point, they're simply not trying to shackle everybody to that. They realize that there are people on the PlayStation who are always going to buy a PlayStation. But, and having done that, likely aren't going to be looking to spend that same type of money again on an Xbox. I mean, that's mainly for freaks like me, I guess. But if they can get those people to pay a couple bucks a month to play it on the cloud, why not? And why wouldn't they? I mean, why would you then restrict yourself from playing some of these wonderful games that you see coming down the pipeline, right? You know these games are coming, and you're mad that they're exclusive to the Xbox. Well, now you can play them because you don't need that box. All you need is to buy into the ecosystem for as little as $1 for the first 3 months, right? And there you go, Shadow. Shadow, you're laughing at me for being a freak, bro. Ah,
And they're probably planning this up to like the next generation of console that, you know, you're going to have your top end console, top of the line, that's got all the bells and whistles attached to it.
mhm.
Then you'll have probably the mid range one. And then they're probably, by that time, they're probably going to have a dongle or a hub that you can plug
Right.
into something else. So effectively, they're making gaming cheaper for people, which
Yeah.
the current times in the world right now is probably a good thing that we're starting to see cheaper ways for people to get into gaming.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, so if you're a PlayStation fan and you really, really are upset about that whole Kojima thing, but you want to experience that game, you're going to be able to, and you're going to be able to do it for very, very little money. And that's nothing but good for everyone, wherever you play, because then they're not trying to remove you, and that's the thing. They're not trying to pull you away from PlayStation, right? They're just saying, hey, come step on this side of the fence for a little while and play as well. Uh, Shadow says he agrees with you, Evil, that gaming will be cheaper with it. So,
Yeah.
and people like Shadow who have moved to the PC, and you don't they even thought enough about it, whereas like I have Game Pass Premium, which allows me to play it on the PC as well as the Xbox, amongst other things. If you're done with buying Xbox consoles, you can get it for just PC and
It's Game
enjoy
Pass Ultimate.
Ultimate. What did I say?
You said premium.
Oh wow,
That's PlayStation.
that is PlayStation. What's on my brain? Should I put on the hat? Should I wear the hat? But yeah. And then our last bit of news, we waited for Geek for this one. Geek Steam Deck mod allows for longer M.2 SSD upgrades. Not bigger. They're already big. Longer, like form factor. From this to this. Tell me how that's a good thing, because I don't understand. And it doesn't, especially since it literally doesn't fit, but people are forcing it to fit. Please explain this to me. And next time, bring some for all the entire class, or you can't have any.
The only benefit to
Oh
this
God,
physical size
I
difference,
honestly did not expect to hear you say that there was a benefit. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
the only benefit to this size difference is that gives you more models of SSDs that you can use. So now you have the smaller one, 2230, and you
Which
have
fits.
this that fits. And now you also have the pool of 2242. That's just,
Doesn't fit
well, it can fit
if you
with
modify.
this new process. But the process lowers the heat dissipation of your unit.
Can
So
we
be
just say
careful.
what it is? It's damaging, right? It's damaging. They hear me out because I know you're going to beat me down, but hear me out first. Let me get in a punch or two, Mike Tyson, before you knock me out.
I didn't call it, but hit the sound.
Ah, Jesus. Is it really there? Oh, wow. Wow, I didn't realize we were this late. Real quick then. Okay, so what we know is that in order to make this fit, not only do you have to bend some of the fins, okay, whatever, but you also have to remove a thermal pad, right? If you're taking away some of the cooling, essentially,
Not cooling. It doesn't cool. It dissipates the heat.
okay, if you're taking away some of the heat dissipation, that hurts it, right? That makes it run hotter, and hotter is not good for electronics. Okay, now you can swing and knock me out for the end of the show.
So when your Steam Deck, because that's what we're talking about, overheats, it slows down the processor to slow down the generated heat, to lessen the generated heat. So by removing a thermal pad, which is a conduit to the fins or whatever method they have to dissipate the heat, you're going to cause your device to overheat, and heat kills. So how does that help you if it's lowering the performance threshold of the device?
Now, I'll just say this, and then I'll let the thing go, right? The M.2, what is it? 30 or something? What was it?
2230.
2230. That fits. You can get it in 500 gigs, terabyte, 2 terabyte, whatever, just like all the other ones. The only difference is the physical size, right? It's slightly, this other one is a few millimeters longer, right?
Yes.
And so it doesn't fit. And so you have to alter the internal workings of the Steam Deck to kind of make it fit, right? I saw a guy do it accidentally, actually, and one thing is he couldn't screw it down because now the screw place was beyond the screw hole. He had to remove the thermal pad because he couldn't close it with it on there. And so the thing that was holding it down, because M.2s, if you don't know, when you slot them in, they slot in at an angle, and then you have to push them down flat and screw them down, right? So now it's the back of the machine that's holding that down rather than the screw that's meant to. But you're not getting it in better, like, terabyte sizes or what have you. It's just that it's physically a few millimeters longer. I don't understand the benefit of that and outside of what you just said, I guess, because again, you have to be you, and always have to be contrary.
The only benefit is that there are now more options available that you can purchase. So you have all of the different options of the 2230 spec, and now you have the 2242 spec.
And I gotta say, guys, this is probably and I didn't see where Valve said anything about this, responded at all. But this is probably gonna void your warranty, to be honest with you, if you're putting in sizes that weren't meant to go.
A thermal pad is there for a reason. Would you open your graphics card up and take a thermal pad away?
Exactly.
I'm not on board with that. It's there for a reason. And yeah, I think that would void your warranty. As soon as you take that thermal pad away, open the device up, that's probably your warranty gone. In fact,
You
I
have
think
altered the design of the device. Warranty gone.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna switch it out, just get the 2230. It's in any size you want, right? Just don't go for a little bit longer. It's not necessary in this case. Stop, Geek. Stop. Just, Geek, where can the people find you?
Geekmaster NYC without the vowels on Borderless Gaming, GKMSTR on Steam, Discord, my other YouTube channel, and then it's just Geekmaster on PlayStation, Twitch, Steam, and Discord. Wednesday Wise, and I'm gonna unveil this other place that we're gonna have a stream.
And Shadow said
So-
in his kitchen.
Keep your in his kitchen.
Yep, in your kitchen.
I don't know. That guy makes some good meals. So
no, he said we can find you in your kitchen because you're eating.
Absolutely, because I'm sorry, people, but I'm starving like a savage. I didn't have breakfast. I did have my cup of coffee. Gotta have your cup of coffee. But I didn't eat. So, and I've been working more than 12 hours. So I had a headache and I had to stop and get something to eat.
Oh, there you go. Evil, where can they find you?
You can find me Steam, Xbox, Epic, Discord, Twitch, and YouTube. It's Evil Scotsman, swapping out the O and the I for a 0 and a 1. And you can find me on TweetyPie's Twitch, which is TweetyPie94, who has started streaming again, so we're back on there. And what about you, Falchion? Where can the people find you?
Well, before they can find me, they got to find Plink, and Plink can be found on Twitch as PlinkGJE, Steam, he's PJ Danger, Discord, he's just Plink, not just Plink, but Plink. Instagram, he's Plink909, and Pokemon Go, he's 5914-3158-0040, and you can also find him right here in the comments. But as Evil was asking, you can find me on the PlayStation, Twitch, and Steam as Falchion757. On the Xbox, I'm Falchion GSA. Here on YouTube, I'm right where you're finding me right now, Borderless Gaming GSA. We want to thank you guys for coming to hang out. Plank says hi. He's in the comments. Oh, and also, I think this week, maybe it's next week, you can find Plank on the East Coast of the United States once again after a long hiatus being away. So, welcome home, bro, for a visit. We want to thank you guys for hanging out, and yeah, Evil, any words for the people?
Yeah, have a good week, and see you next week.
Episode 56 is in the can. please, guys, if you enjoyed Faustian's
Oh, yeah.
content, Steam Deck content, please let him hear it so he continues to put up,
Yeah.
the awesome Steam Deck information and gameplays, because he doesn't think you want to see it. So let him hear it, people.
Yeah, nobody seems to like the gameplay, but that's cool too. That's cool too. Until next time, this has been Fauci. You know me. I'm Ghost. 2 fingers is peace. Later. Oh, wrong button. You guys are supposed to cover me right now.